Currently, right now, we have 2 candidates. That is it.
Is Tiffany Bird one of them?
Tiffany Bird is one of them.
Okay.
Tiffany Bird and Raven Baker are the 2 candidates that we are looking at right now. We actually will most likely have 2 positions to fill, so I'd rather have a bigger funnel to pick from. Mooresville is most likely going to follow in suit with this. As you guys know, Kent likes to keep both market centers right in line with one another. And please get any of those candidates in to have a conversation with me. I'm going to give you guys the quick little breakdown because Michael's never heard it before as to what that looks like. Essentially, the transaction coordinator is going to be doing 2 roles, typically inputting listings for the agents and also taking it from contract to close, whether it's a listing side or buy side. There is a fixed price for those. That fixed price, excuse me, that fixed price is going to be $125 to enter the listings. It's going to be $250 to take it through contract to close. This is something we're going to beta out of Cornelius. Michael, we will most likely be opening it up right to Huntersville as well, and then to Boone if Boone wants to get involved with that. But I really see most of this coming from Cornelius and Huntersville. Why is it important as leaders and the ALC that you guys promote this is because we are actually going to be paying the transaction coordinator a salary, okay? They're going to have a fixed salary. So the market center is going to be responsible for that cost, whether we utilize it or not. So as a result, the win-win, because we want a win-win-win across the board. And so this is how the win-win-win works. Number one, for the transaction coordinator, they're going to get open to a lot more business. For the agents, this is right in line with about 50% of what the normal costs of those services would be. And then finally, when we do have enough money coming into the pot to go ahead and fulfill that person's salaried role, anything over the top is going to go to the bottom dollar for our office, which will help off-put profit share. So it's going to be a win-win for the agents on that side of it. Does anybody have any questions around the transaction coordinator and how we're doing that? I think, and I'm going to say this, and I apologize because I know you guys have heard me say it 100-fold over. I want to run the office as a giant mega team. And so the first thing that I said was, what did I do when I started a team? I put a transaction coordinator in place for my agents. And so that's exactly what we're doing here for the office. We will continue to develop this into 2021 with some other things as well. Questions on that? Okay. We are talking about business planning clinic. Who's taken this class before? Yes, hopefully. Okay. Business planning clinic to plan out the business for 2021. Business planning clinic was supposed to be going on in Mooresville, I believe today or tomorrow. Mooresville decided to go ahead and cancel it due to everything going on with COVID. Kent has been very adamant about business planning clinic that he will not do it virtually. He wants to do it face-to-face. As we all know, COVID guidelines and regulations, gatherings of over 35 people. Deb, I'd like to have a conversation with you around this as possibly maybe taking our business planning clinic off-site to Peninsula Yacht Club, something like that, where we've got more space so we can properly social distance. So Deb, if you'll just get with me, or I know you and Kim were both talking to them, one of the two of you, just so we can have the conversation around what that would look like in order for us to do that. However, I think the business planning clinic is extremely important and something that we need to be doing.
I'll reach out to the club.
Perfect, thank you. And I'll get the date that we have it. If we need to move the date, I'm sure we can adjust it based upon what they would say.
For business planning clinic?
Correct.
October 14th is the current schedule.
Yeah, I know you stepped away. What we were talking about is moving it off site. So we'd have to see if they have that date available.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. What I was saying is Mooresville just canceled because of COVID, and Kent will not teach it virtually. We do have a virtual option, if not, and that would be Joseph Klosik.
Yeah.
And he does a very good job of it. I mean, listen, I get it with COVID and everything, but I agree wholeheartedly with Kent that we really don't get the same impact. CC, Katrina, myself were just on the ALC leadership last week, and CC, please chime in here. I didn't feel it was as impactful as it normally is when you go there in person. And so I would assume you're agreeing with me with that smirk.
Yeah, that was my first time meeting Gene Rivers, and I heard so much about him, and I know he's amazing, but video just doesn't do it.
And I'll be honest with you, that didn't do Gene justice. He's a very dry humor kind of guy. And listen, I'm not taking anything away from the guy. The guy has multiple market centers in Tampa. He's done a beautiful business. Yet it's hard, you know, over Zoom. And, you know, I guess that's just kind of our new norm that we're falling into. So,
and I'll add, business planning clinic is some pretty heavy math all through the day, and trying to coordinate that across Zoom is, ooh, I would not envy anybody trying that.
So this is just my insight on where that's going to go, CC, and let me know what you think. I think after the election in November, I think we're going to see some changes in our nation. And right now, Pfizer is calling for a possible vaccination as early as November 3rd. Okay, that was what I heard on the news this morning. Now, we don't know if that's a full vaccination, a partial vaccine. I don't know. I don't want any conspiracy theorists to jump up here because it's so close to right when the election is happening. You guys can all take that one with a big grain of salt. However, something that we need to be just mindful of in general. And so I think if worst case scenario, we can push business planning clinic back to December. And that may give some of our agents something to do over the holidays to prepare their business, because it is a lot of numbers, as CC said. Okay, so that's business planning clinic. Next, I want to talk, has anybody ever heard of Steve Tufts? Yes,
Nope.
no, maybe so.
Nope,
Nope.
I haven't.
Okay, so Steve Tufts is an OP in the Florida region, and he went and got his, oh, now I'm going to screw it up. Is it CC? Is it master's or doctorate? Okay.
I don't know which one he has.
So he did his thesis on new agent hires at Keller Williams.
He got a master's.
Master's, thank you. Okay. And so these are the 5 things he said he looks at when doing a new agent hire. And so I want you guys to all take notes on this, write this down, because I think that this is not like a set in stone. It has to be these 5 things. Yet I think as leaders inside of our market center and business centers, as a leader, how do you identify talent? And so these are the top 5 things to identify a talented real estate agent. And number 1 is a track record of success. Okay. Now I'm not just talking about going and grabbing the Phil Pumas of the world. Okay. I'm talking about what did they do previously? Don, can I pick on you for a second? Okay. So Don has never sold real estate before you joined Keller Williams, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Yet Dawn has a very extensive track record of success in other fields prior to this, don't you? You can brag on yourself. It's okay.
Sure.
She's a very, very savvy businesswoman. So that is a perfect example of somebody that you find. And don't get me wrong, I didn't find her. She came to me. I'm not going to take any credit where credit's not due. Yet that was one of the things that in my mind was like, boop, box checked. Track record of proven success. I think if you look, and I see one of our agents, James Neal, is on here as well. And so I'm going to pick on him for a second too, because James has a proven track record of success over the last 2 years selling cars, selling automobiles. And if you can sell a pen, sell a car, sell a house, it's just the commission structure is a little bit different on all of those. And so again, track record of proven success. Number 2, significant sphere of influence. What Steve Tufts describes as a significant, I can't even talk today, significant sphere of influence. Try saying that 4 times fast. is 100 people. Because when you have 100 people in your immediate sphere should equate to 16 transactions a year. Well, what do we know the definition of graduating Ignite is? Guess how many transactions? 16, right? Oh yeah, I'm feeling the energy now. Awesome. Okay, so 16 transactions a year coming from a sphere of influence of 100 people. Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate to this one. Okay, and the reason I'm gonna play devil's advocate to this one is because we have seen people that move here, and now Chris Conrad is a great example, $7 million producing agent up in New Hampshire, former ALC member up there, came down here and has jumped right into business right off the bat. And she's working on a $1.3 million on the water right now. So guys, again, not all of this is set in stone. So take it with a grain of salt, because she had number one down, right? She had the track record, proven results. And she was able to come in here right away with literally having virtually no sphere of influence, because Kim, I believe you sold her house. And as a result, now gone ahead and launched her business, and she's doing very well. All right, number 3. Now, keep in mind, this was 5 years ago. This was pre-COVID. This was pre-Command, pre-everything, okay? If you guys don't understand what I'm warming you up for. Yet, strong understanding and use of technology. Doesn't matter what field you're in, I think that applies everywhere. And so having a strong understanding and use of technology, I want to talk about Command for a second with this, okay? How many of you guys have had an issue with Command? It's okay, raise your hands, okay? How many times have you gone on and this button was over here and now it's over here, right? How many times has something changed inside of there, right? Okay. Understand, technology is constantly changing. Things are constantly going to be improved. And if you actually look at Command, and I'm not going to pick on anybody who's had an issue with Command, because I'm guilty of this as well. I think it's, and I'll make up a statistic here, but it's above 80% is usually a user error for somebody not reading an email and how something was changed. Yes, does it get on Tuesdays? Is that a great day to be on Command for education? No. Why, Cece? Why is Tuesday not a great day?
Tuesday is the regular update day for Command.
It's a regular Yep, it's a regular update day for Command. So it's not the best day to be doing and learning and playing around doing new things. This is constantly going to be changing. Yet, if you look at Command that links to a mobile app, Kelly, that links to a consumer app, the consumer app, right? That is the only CRM data bank system out there that can talk to all the other ones. If you guys know anything about computer coding, and I'm not going to get down that bunny trail, they all speak a different language, and Command is able to talk and communicate with all of them. Understand that Command is the only data bank system out there that has a partnership with Facebook, hence the Facebook ads that you guys do, okay? And if you're not doing them, start doing them, okay? This is not just running an ad on Facebook. You guys are real estate agents. Matt, I know you run a team. I'm sure Matt did Facebook ads prior to Command having them in place, as I did for my team as well. Okay, this is different. We're also the only firm, Keller Williams, to be partnered with Google. We don't just use the Google platform, we're actually partnered with them. It's really important that you understand that. So number 3 is a strong understanding and use of technology. Number 4, willing to attend training. I can't talk today. Guys, there's always things changing with training. Command is a great example of that, okay? There's always going to be different things. And this is the thing. Don't go take the same class with the same person. Go get somebody else's perspective on something. You guys have seen that recently we've started doing the buyer consultation, listing consultation classes. Now we're adding in the offer to purchase in class, and we're adding in, or we've already got the profit share class in place. Guys, these are 1 hour, 2 hour classes that I've been teaching. Not to sound lazy, I would love to leverage this off on an ALC member to teach one of those classes, even if I pop back in next month and teach the class again. Because how Michael does a buyer consultation is not the same way PJ does a buyer consultation, is definitely not the same way Terry does a buyer consultation, so on and so forth. And so people are going to pick up all those little things. Our agents, our goal every month is to have 60 trainings a month on the calendar. Our agents need to understand, and guys, as leaders, we've all seen this, right? Oh, I went through Ignite. I graduated Ignite. So you did 16 transactions last year. No, not exactly. Okay, then you did not graduate Ignite. Just because you went through the curriculum doesn't mean that you graduated from it. How many of you guys have a favorite book or a favorite movie? If you're not a reader. Have you seen it or read it more than once? You guys get where I'm going with this? As the leadership team and the leadership group of this market center, I need that message to be coming from you guys loud and clear. Cool? Awesome. You guys are wicked loud today. I need you to calm down. All right. Moving on. Number 5. Willing to be a full-time realtor in 90 days. Okay? You guys know the Keller Williams motto, what I do today will affect my income 90 days from today. We have always done dual career. Now, I'm not going to push away people that don't want to. However, the emphasis should be on getting to that level of full-time realtor in a 90-day window. Now, how do we encourage that more, right? How would you guys encourage somebody going full-time? Or how would you encourage getting them in the office more or having more interaction inside of real estate? How would you encourage that as a leadership team?
By doing it?
By you guys leading by example, is that what you mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Training
think
and
that's
being
the
in
first
office.
one. How else would you do it?
I mean, I always just explain to people the benefits of jumping in full time in anything. Like I tell them, and I don't try to brag to people, but I just tell them exactly what I did and jumping in full time and how successful you can be in just a few short months of committing yourself 100% to something. So, I mean, they could see it, like by your fruits, you shall know them, basically. And that's exactly how it is in real estate. So.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right, Michael. That's where I was going with this, is sharing our success stories, right? And I get where you're coming from, not trying to look cocky, right? Yet coming in and saying, hey, here's another one sold with Michael Dennis, right? I was able to do this, so on and so forth. Our team is putting up a post today about, now this is more directed at buyers and things, yet 3 of our agents on our 6-person team are under contract on a property right now. You think it's a good time to buy a house? Do the same thing just with the agents, right? And show them and come in and celebrate those victories, celebrate those wins. And this is the thing. If you don't want to look like you're coming off cocky in nature, Michael, go celebrate Deb's wins.
Yeah.
Go celebrate Matt's wins, right? Matt just had a really large sale for our market center, right? And I'm not picking on him, but he did have a great sale for our market center, and that's huge, and we should brag on that because people want to go where they can see results. And so if we want to launch people into full-time, listen, if you guys go full-time, full bore, I know all of you guys already are, you wouldn't be here in this conversation. Yet, what does their world look like? I had never made 6 figures in my entire life. I got into selling real estate at 30 years old. By the time I was just before I turned 32, I broke 6 figures for the first time. It changed my world. And I didn't stop there. I continued to go on and continue to find different avenues in different ways, because when it comes down to it, you guys can love me as much as you want. If you're not going to make money, you're not going to be in a good mood. And so how do we get them to those results faster? And so, yes, Don leading by example, Michael sharing those win-wins and showing them how you guys got there. Go back to the training, right? Hey, you know what? I saw Susan Johnson. She's been a leader in this office for years. She's always on the over 500 board as an independent agent. She rocks it out. She showed up to a training and she's talking about a training. Maybe I need to go to those trainings. Maybe I need to see those trainings, right? So a lot of it's leading by example, not just selling, and really sharing our story. I think that's one of the things, and Terry and CC being part of the leadership here, not that the ALC is not part of the leadership, but I mean part of the leadership team. But one of the things we've been talking about all year long is about really sharing our story, because I don't think we as a whole do a good enough job sharing our story. And whether that's sharing our own victories, sharing office victories, or our fellow man's victories, I think those are really important. So those are Steve Tuff's new agent hires: track record of success, significant sphere of influence, understanding and use of technology, willingness to attend training, and willing to be a full-time realtor inside of a 90-day window. So what comments you guys got on that? Do we like that?
Yeah.
That's some really good information that we can carry forward. Okay. So we got the pleasure of sitting down with Gene Rivers on Thursday. Yep, it was Thursday. And getting from him everything that we as a leadership want to look and desire inside of an ALC. And so I'm just going to briefly run over a couple of things that we have requirements of being part of ALC. And so moving forward into next year, we're going to have a lot of those requirements in place. And I just want to talk about that briefly. So make sure that everybody's on the same page. You guys have heard it right from the horse's mouth. So requirements of being on ALC for next year are going to be 2 referrals a month to the team leader. Obviously, we would like capping referrals. However, 2 referrals a month is going to be the requirement. I don't think that, and this is not a dig, I don't think there's anybody on the ALC, and I know we had some members join later in the year, but there's nobody that's consistently given me 2 every single month. I will say that Matt Sarver and Becca Mangini, before she stepped off, did give me quite a few referrals, and Deb, because of your role with UHG, passing some, and have given more now since you have come on halfway through the year. So I'm not knocking people on that. And I have gotten some. I know SJ, I know you've sent me some. Terry, you've sent me some. Terry's not even on the ALC, but we appreciate that. But it really needs to be consistently 2 a month coming into the TL. That's not because I'm lazy. Okay. And if anybody wants to think I'm lazy, that's fine. CC will tell you I had 45 appointments last month. So it's not for a lack of wanting more people to walk in the door. It's because you guys are in the trenches. Deb, I don't know who you just did a really good cross sale with, because I don't sell real estate anymore. Right. And so a couple of things around that. Michael just did a great cross sale with Diego Guevara over at Keller Williams University. Do not send me Diego's name, okay? We do not poach from other, not that you would, I'm just picking on you. Not that you would. We do not poach from other market centers, okay? Absolutely not. Also, with that being said, if you do run into somebody that maybe they're not a top producing agent, but you see one of those 5 things in there, obviously, if you guys can't figure out, I'm building on top of that, right? Okay, those are going to be some of the things that we want to look out and say, I want this person. You guys know Amber Valentine, our director of agent services, or agent services coordinator, excuse me. Cece, you're on mute. What'd you say?
I'll say you were right the first time, Director of Agent Services.
Oh, okay, director of agent services, excuse me. I'll change my board over here then. I think one of the things, and Amber will tell you this, I'm not picking on her, one of the things that CC and I both recognized is she's not an ideal fit for that role. She's got enough of the pieces that she's doing a very good job of running it, yet we know that that's not her end results or her end role. Yet she came with that track record of success. She came with that high energy, higher energy than I have, which is saying a lot. Okay. We knew that we needed to make this person a part of our market center because she's going to play a pivotal role in making it being a amazing market center as we move forward. So recognizing that talents inside of other agents. The other requirement is going to be that you attend at least one of 2 events. That would be Mega Camp or Family Reunion. Regardless if that's going to be virtually or not, we want to see you guys attend those events because there is so much knowledge at those events. And I'd really love for everybody to come to both of those events.
I can still get you registered for Mega Camp for $80.
Bingo, there you go. Awesome. The other thing, all right, so here's my sheet, couldn't find it. Excuse me. A presence and an awareness in the office, okay? Kim Wilson, I'm gonna brag on you for a minute. As you guys know, Kim is our agent of the month for August. She sat 2 of our newer agents down and walked them through an offer to purchase. Kim, how long did you spend with them?
About 3.5 hours.
Okay. I'm not going to say you guys have to spend 3.5 hours with someone,
No.
yet coming in and recognizing that. So Kim, kudos to you for in a short window of time being on the ALC, showing your leadership. And I know you guys have probably heard me say that over and over again. I'm going to continue to say these things over and over again until we see it happening across the board, because that is how we teach people how to treat others. We teach people how to treat us. And that's the approach. That's a bold law, if you guys are familiar. And those are the things that we need to be doing to be moving ourselves forward and moving our entire market center forward through that. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Requirements. I'm going to see 2 things from you guys. As ALC members, I want to see your GPS, your 135 for your personal business, whatever that looks like, okay? I want you guys to really embrace that and design a 411 around that so you guys can be successful. You probably heard me say it before. If you guys are not successful in your own business, there's no point in being on ALC. Not because because this, that, yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys need to make sure you guys are feeding your business before you're feeding the offices, okay? So yes, I want you to be selfish about that. Yet, as you guys who have taken bold on here all know, is that an empty cup can't fill up someone else's cup. We're going to strongly encourage that if you have not taken bold before, you're going to be required, if you've not taken bold before, to take bold. And we're going to strongly encourage you to get involved with MAPS coaching, bold pivot, ignite, all of those things. Our office has signed on to do the regional ignite. The regional ignite is $250 a month, paid for by the market center. This is an expense that we're paying out to help our agents. When's the last time you guys sat in on Ignite? Now it's called Sparks and Elementals, yet when's the last time you did that? You guys, if you're looking at the regional lists, there's a team in New Bern called Team Donna. Has anybody ever heard of Team Donna? No? Okay. Team Donna, hold please. Number five group in the region for the month of July, okay? That's over 9,000 agents between 2 states. Team Donna, and now you guys are all gonna start, or I'm sorry, it's Donna and Team New Bern, excuse me. That's the official name, okay? Those of you guys know Stuart Downey, who came here and spoke at our office. He's a former team leader out in Nashville. He is a member of Team Donna and was their listing specialist. Every time Ignite is run in their market center, her entire team is required to take Ignite again. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to require the ALC to take Ignite. However, it may not hurt you to sit in on some of those classes. again, we need to be learning based. If there's somebody on this council that's I got it, maybe not the right fit for this council. This is a learning based council, right? And we're constantly wanting to improve and get better. Okay. While we're on that, let's just give a shout out to, for the month of July, Consuelo out of our office. She was number 4 in the region. That's huge as an individual agent. Our Boone Mountain Elevation Realty was number 2 for teams in the region. And Kim Wilson and Christy Walker with Christy Walker and Associates was number 10 in our region. Those are great, huge numbers to be up there, guys. I like to think I run a successful team. My team's never made the group list. Okay, so kudos to those guys and congratulate them when you see them, please. All right. So moving forward. Get my sheets mixed up here. All right. I want to talk about employee discounts. Okay. And for the leadership that was on the call this morning, we talked a little bit about this. Can you guys name a job where you didn't have an employee discount?
Waitress.
They don't get a discount on food?
Oh yeah, you did get free food.
Yep. Whenever I worked a double, I always got a free meal because I was in the restaurant business.
It's
Property
security.
management.
Security, I never got any kind of discounts.
Security, you never got any kind of discounts? Okay. All right. I can see that. Did you drive your own car for security?
No, I drove their car around.
What were you saying, Don?
Property management.
Property management? They don't waive some of those fees if they're renting an apartment in there?
It was commercial.
Oh,
It was
commercial.
running
Okay.
commercial real estate. And I don't think they would have given me a discount even if I did.
Okay, fair enough. A lot of jobs out there have employee discounts, right? For the majority. Whether you're working at Walmart, restaurant, doesn't matter. There's an employee discount. So do we have an employee discount in real estate? I'm going to come right back to your commercial leasing in a second here on this.
I mean, we do if we sell our own house, typically. I think it's once a year or one home a year with Keller Williams or something like that.
That's Keller Williams discount to you, sure. Does the federal government give you any discounts?
Write-offs.
Write-offs? Do you know that as a licensed real estate agent in anywhere in the country, because this is federal, that when you purchase your own property, you're allowed to roll your commission in as a down payment tax-free?
I did that.
Good job, Kim. I'm doing that right now.
I did that.
I did it too. I did it too.
12 years ago, but yeah.
So Susan took advantage of it. Kim took advantage of it. This is going to be the second time that I'm taking advantage of it. What should my taxes be on a $21,000 commission?
Probably
Too
half
much.
that.
Too much? What? It's probably somewhere in a ballpark of about $6,000 to $8,000. Okay, anywhere from about 32 to 40%, depending upon how I have my business set up. Mine's going to be on the lighter side of that because I'm an S corp. Yet if you're just a regular 1099 employee, you could be as much as 40%. It's important that you guys know these things because as leaders, having this conversation with some of the other agents in our office. While I was on vacation, I had an agent from EXP call me because I had this conversation in a recruiting meeting with this person and asked me to walk them through how to go ahead and do that, which I obviously did. They haven't come over to Keller Williams yet. I'm working on it. Okay. So understand, where else could we have an advantage or a discount in real estate? What do you guys as real estate agents know better than anybody else? What do people ask you as real estate agents? Let's start there.
How's the market?
Okay, so where would you be an expert in if people are going to ask you how the market is, Michael?
Housing market? I mean, just
Housing market. Yeah, no, it's no trick questions here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are experts in the housing market. Okay, so somebody pick a neighborhood.
Vermilion.
What is it?
Vermilion.
Okay, what's the average price point in Vermilion?
320 maybe.
So if you saw a house for sale for 199,000 in Vermilion, is that a good deal?
Absolutely.
We may say something's wrong with it, right? Well, why is it so cheap, right?
Yes.
That may be our first gut reaction. Yet if everything seems to check out, wouldn't that be a good deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that our employee discount? Because if you know you can buy it for $199 and turn around in a 30-day window and sell it for $300, I'll do that deal all day long. Right?
That's true.
What if I can't buy it? What if I just don't have the funds to go ahead and purchase it right now? Can I give my employee discount to somebody else?
No, I don't think so.
Well, in this instance, I can't. Because Terry is a huge investor. And I know he's worked up all those years. He's saved and stockpiled all that money. I'm going to show him how he can flip $100,000 in a 30-day window. Would that be me basically passing along my knowledge, or as I call it, my employee discount to Terry so that he can have an advantage? Do you think he's going to recommend more business to me if he's making $100,000 in 30 days?
Absolutely.
What time can we meet, PJ?
There you go, right? Again, go back to what we were saying about, getting agents into production in a 90-day window, sharing those success stories or having those conversations, right? Well, listen, money talks and you know what walks, right? Okay. So if you can show them the proof in the pudding, by all means, go right ahead. I just put a property under contract. I put a property under contract while it was still in coming soon. Why? Because I took a training class that told me I could do that. Do you know that people are pissed off that I put the property under contract while it was in coming soon? Sorry, if you want to play the game at a high level, you need to know how to play the game. You need to know the rules of the game.
So I actually just took an ethics class the other day, and the instructor was telling us not to do that. Literally.
Why?
I didn't agree with him. He was just saying that there's too much chance that somebody can basically, he said it wasn't correct to do something like that. I didn't agree.
Well, so I don't know who the instructor is, and I don't want to get into a back and forth either. Yet, if the buyer is willing to go ahead and risk X amount in due diligence so they can put it under contract, isn't it their decision?
I'm
Absolutely.
trying to do that right now, and the agent said that's not how it works. So he
Maybe
says,
that agent needs to talk to their broker in charge.
that's what I said, and he said
Exactly.
that was the broker in charge's opinion too. And I'm like, well, it doesn't go live for 4 more days.
Well, sounds like there's a recruiting opportunity to Keller Williams to better educate. Just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of even BICs and other agents that are far not as educated as we are at KW.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of them are comfortable with their ignorance.
Well, and do our forms change?
All the time.
How often do they change, Terry? You're the form expert.
At least once a year. I've seen changes twice a year.
At least once a year. Those new forms come out in July, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. And you have a 60-day window of implementation where you can still use the old forms. As Terry will tell you, just go ahead and start using the new forms because they ain't going back, right, Terry?
Correct. I've seen them come out in January, and obviously in May we had a new form come out for listings.
Do you guys know why I put a property under contract while it's still incoming soon?
It was sight unseen, more than likely, and
It was sight unseen.
To beat out multiple offers, you've got the first option.
I did not want to be in a bidding war, and it's $159,000 cheaper than any other waterfront property on Lake Wiley right now. If you can find $160,000 worth of damage to that house, I'm at a break even. I don't think you're going to find $160,000 worth of damage yet. So it's taking advantage and knowing what your employee discount is as a real estate agent. Now, I don't want to turn this into a whole classroom, so to speak, yet what we talked about with Gene Rivers, I want to bring some of that stuff back to you, because when I have the opportunity to learn from great people, when I have the opportunity to sit down with Gary Keller and his top 200, I want to bring that stuff back to you guys. And so he went through what's called LID. And I'd seen this before, and if you guys haven't seen it, I think this is something that we need to be talking about. This is a little bit higher level conversation. Maybe not with a brand new real estate agent, unless they really have a strong understanding of investment, such as James Neal, Sandy Sacco, brand new agents that have both already done investing. And the investment, the acronym, as you guys know, I love acronyms, is LID, L-I-D. And it stands for lifestyle, investments, and debt. And so what does our lifestyle look like? How much every year we do our business planning clinic and we want to have $200,000 in gross commission income. We want to have a nicer house, want to have a nicer car, maybe multiple cars, want to go on nice vacations, want to buy that Louis Vuitton, right? The nice clothing, nice accessories. Anybody have kids? If anybody has kids, you guys know how expensive children can be.
Holy crap. I was wondering, thought the cat was like getting into something.
Hey, Kim, you're not on mute. Kim, how's your cat? DC, can you mute her? Thank you. What do your investments look like? Well, the MREA book tells us to get to $2 million of investments to be a real millionaire real estate agent, to $2 million. So how do we get there? Okay. And that's not, I don't have it here. That's in the MREI book, the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, the blue book. Okay. If you guys really want to know about investing, read that book. Gene Rivers said something very powerful. It was like, hey, Don, tell me what book to go read next. Hey, Deb, what book should I read next? No. Go back and read that book again. If you guys haven't read that book, want to get into investing, you guys are in the investment business already. Unless you're going to tell me right now that you're never going to work with an investment client, you're in the investment business already. Okay? What's the difference? When do I use an ROI and when do I use an NOI? Who can tell me what an NOI is? I know Don can.
Net operating income.
Net operating
Net
income.
operating income.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Deb. A net operating income. That is applied when somebody is going to do a rent and hold. ROI is when somebody wants to do a flip, right? What's their return on investment? In the long run, you may have an ROI for a rental property, but on the month-to-month basis, so you're making money, you better be going off of an NOI, because if you're not bringing in a vacancy rate and a lot of the other stuff I could start rambling off, which I don't want to confuse everybody, then you, in my opinion, you guys have no right working with investors. All right, lastly, the debt, okay? What does it mean to be debt-free? Does anybody know the definition of debt-free?
You have no debt.
Okay. It's a little bit more than that. You can actually have a mortgage and be considered debt-free. Does anybody know what percentage of your mortgage or what percentage of the equity you have to own in the property?
Is it 70%?
Nope. It's much less. Think of PMI.
80%? I mean, 20%?
Yeah, just flip it. So if you own a $200,000 house, right, and you've got $40,000, so you only owe 160 or less on the property, you're considered out of debt for that particular property. The other thing that you're not considered being in debt in is not having a car payment, not having a reoccurring credit card. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the reoccurring credit card. It says being paid off every 3 months, it's paid off. I think it should be monthly, personally. However, if you're going and spending let's just call it $6,000 on your credit card. That $6,000 is paid off in 3 months. So $2,000 is getting hit every month towards that. And even if you're adding debt on top of it, that is the definition of being debt free. Okay. It will help get your finances in better order. I'm not telling you guys, oh, I'm not going to use a credit card ever again. No, you need to still have credit being built over time. And this is not a credit class either. It's just understanding where you need to be and hopefully giving you guys some goals to shoot for. Because I promise you guys, when you guys are debt free, when you guys are in a situation where things are more comfortable, you guys are going to be showing up a lot differently. July 11, 2018, I became debt free. Okay, I paid my truck off. I had $1,000 on a credit card that was getting paid off every single month. And of the 3 houses, only 2 of them had mortgages on it. Well over 20% ownership in both of those. Not saying that to you guys to brag or boast, because when I close on this house, October 13th, I'm going to go right back into being in debt. Okay. However, this is how you get to that balance to where you guys can go ahead and grow a bigger life. And that's the point of this. I want you guys to be getting some value piece and some things that you can take away from ALC. And I want you guys to take what we're talking about and going and bringing it to the other agents so that they can bring it to their life and their world and their family as well. Okay. Cece, what did I miss?
So that was a lot. I don't know that you missed anything.
That was a lot. So let's get some crosstalk going for our last 9 minutes here, because I do want to respect your time and I do need to be on a regional call at noon. So comments, questions, concerns, what do you guys got for me? Matt Sarver, you've been very quiet.
I'm here.
Thanks, Matt.
We got the clock working.
We did get the clock working. For those of you that, I should send that picture out. Matt and I were on the roof Friday fixing the clock. So the clock tower is at the actual time now. We were not able to get inside there and scrape off the Keller Williams that used to be in there. So just be mindful of the appearance. And Matt, I do want to thank you for all your help. We did have Marcine come out on Friday with all the renovations that we're looking to do for the office. We've got a couple of things to do to get some competitive quotes. Yet I think hopefully by the end of this year, our office is going to start looking more like Michael's background and less like my background.
Amen. So can we talk about this Thursday?
We can talk about this Thursday, yes.
Because I'm kind of new at this. Deb and I have been working on, so that the meeting or whatever, what are we calling it? After party?
Party. It's a party.
Yeah.
Party. Call it what it is.
At Christy's house.
Closeout bash.
At Christy's house. So I did get confirmation from Movement that they will provide up to $150 in whatever, food, wine. I just have to give them a receipt.
Okay.
And then I didn't know what else, or do I just talk to Debbie about it, or does anybody have any opinions? I didn't know what we were trying to do as far as food or.
I'm letting you girls organize and handle all of that. And
Okay.
then we can reach out to some of our vendors for support if need
Okay.
be.
Yeah, that's what I did. Okay.
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 Kim, are you in the office today?
I'm not. I plan to be the rest of the week, obviously for Mega Camp. But I can call you later or FaceTime you later or whatever.
Yeah, let's just talk later. We
Okay.
can. We need
Yeah,
another.
you girls take care of that off to the side. Let me know what you come up with. All right. Anybody else? Questions, comments, concerns?
How did the thing on Friday go? Sorry, I was out of town. The Hero for Heroes thing.
Oh, the blood drive.
Yeah.
So we had some challenges around the blood drive a little bit. I think we did get a great turnout. I think we had 17 or 18 pints of blood donated, which will take care of about 60 people. They did have one of the buses broke down and didn't make it, so we only had one bus instead of two. And apparently, I guess ours just goes to Atrium Healthcare, if that's correct. And a competitor blood bus showed up in the next door parking lot because they had seen what we were doing via social media. And so there was a little bit of between the two blood buses. And I think we lost some people over there because typically we do about 25 pints. I think it was awesome. We did have a great turnout from the fire department. Those guys showed up in full force. I know Mayor Woody was trying to make it over here and he did not. But I know September 11th, a day like that's kind of crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on. So
Are you saying we lost them because they didn't know where to go, or they just wanted to hurry up and get it done? They thought we were all together?
I'm not really sure how to answer that. So probably a little bit of both. But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, it's all donated going towards a good cause. So we'll stay positive with that.
We also raised $1,200 for towers and have a little bit more expected to add to that donation as well.
Yep, and the food truck donated as well, part of their proceeds, which is included in those numbers. Those are the people we want to partner with. Okay, 4 minutes.
Any update? We have 2 hires we're looking at, TC and Director of First Impressions. I have been actively interviewing for Director of First Impressions last week and this week. I have 4 candidates going through career visioning with me. We are moving quickly and successfully through that. TC.
Director of Operations, did I miss something?
Director of First Impressions.
Yeah,
Rachel's going to be leaving us the end of this month.
Oh, I did not know that, or maybe.
We didn't announce it. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So I didn't miss anything.
We did. We talked about it at team meeting.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And BJ, I'll ask you to address transaction coordinator, progress towards that.
Yeah, I think I started with that today.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, we've got 2 candidates, and if there's anybody else, get them in now.
When does the actual ALC board transition? Is that October?
No, it's going to be January 1. So at the beginning of the year, we'll roll with the new ALC. Most likely in December, we'll have the former ALC and the current and the new ALC all on one big ALC together for that month. So cool. What else? Guys, I know your time is valuable. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope this was good information for you. If you guys need anything else, don't hesitate to give me a buzz, and make it a great Monday. Thank you.
Thanks, PJ.
My pleasure.